And he's wearing the number 22, guys.
It is Jack Hoffman of Team Jack coming out on the field right now in this 4th down and short. Jack Hoffman, who's been adopted really by this football team, a young man who has battled brain cancer, is on the field right now for the Huskers.
One more snap for Taylor Martinez, too, who will hand it off to Jack.
So Taylor gets the shotgun set, gives it to Jack. Here he goes. He's got blockers out in front.
There he
Jack
goes.
is running the midfield. Listen to this crowd as Jack Hoffman, a young man that, as I mentioned, has really been adopted by this football team, just scored a touchdown.
Oh, wow. What a moment.
And both benches empty.
That was a moment right there. Wow, goosebumps.
What's going on, everybody? Fall in, at attention. You are locked into another episode of the Husker Army Podcast, brought to you by the great folks over here at Hurrdat Sports Network. And, of course, make sure to go over to Facebook, follow the Husker Army Facebook fan page. A great group of people, like 30-some thousand members in that group. It's awesome. As you saw with the opening clip there that our producer Brock threw in, the run by Jack Hoffman in 2013 in the spring game. Wow. What a moment. I can honestly say that I was there in person with my son, my father. So we had 3 generations of Knutsons there seeing that in person that day. And I'll tell you right now, there was not a dry eye in that house, in that stadium. It shows what college football really is and can be and means to a lot of people. To lose Jack at the age that we did, to have everything happen with that family that has happened, I don't wish upon anybody, and nobody should ever have to go through something like that. So we'll get into talking about Jack, what he meant to Husker Nation, just the Husker family in general, what they've done, his relationship with Rex Burkhead and everything. So we'll get into that here in just a moment. Of course, we've got to get through the first few things that we do at the beginning of every episode. Let you know who we are, of course. I am your host, Bryan Knutson. With me, as always, former Husker wide receiver, multi-time national champ as well, Mr. Kenny Cheatham. And then our guest today, everybody. It is so nice to have this man back on with us. You're going to instantly know him. If you don't, I don't know where you've been. This is Nebraska's bowl game MVP, Rahmir Johnson. Rahmir, how you doing, young man?
I'm doing great. It's a pleasure to be back on here.
Great to have you back on. We've kept in contact ever since you were on the first time, man, and I appreciate the friendship. It means a ton to me. I wish you knew how much it meant to a almost 43-year-old guy that I'm friends with you, and of course Emmett as well. So we'll get these things out the way. Of course, we got to let you know, if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe, make sure to hit that bell notification icon. Helps us out a lot. If you're listening on audio only podcast.
Did he freeze up on us?
I think so.
He'll be back in a second.
Anybody still there?
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a first. That was a first.
You got the Kenny treatment today.
Yeah. Hey, why not, dude? It's a little cold here in Fremont today, so why not let the internet start acting up? Of course.
You know, I'm always freezing up for some reason.
All right. And then, of course, got to let you know, we got some merch, folks. You hop on over there to heartwarming.com. I believe there's a new link that we put on our Twitter profile, our Instagram profile. There is a brand new link to follow to find all our merch. But as you see there, we got the shirts, the trucker hats, the beanies, stainless steel tumblers, of course, the coffee mugs. And those are not, black is not the only color these things come in. They look awesome. I've got a red one myself as far as the shirt goes. Rahmir and Emmett got some things coming to them here pretty soon. I can't wait to see that. That'll be great. But like I said, heartwarming.com. Go over and check that out. And then, of course, got to let you know about our sponsor one last time. Fantasy sports just got easier, folks, and a lot more fun. Underdog Fantasy Sports is the fastest growing fantasy app out there, and it is the easiest place to play, guys. It really is. No waivers, no trades, no lineup headaches. Just draft your team in minutes and start having fun. Sign up today using our code Husker Army. You can claim yourself up to $1,000 in bonus cash and get yourself a free pick with your first deposit. They got a slick mobile app. They have a very user-friendly website. You can jump in, draft, and start winning now. So like I said, earn more than just bragging rights, guys. Pick them, watch them, win them. Come play with Underdog Fantasy Sports. Double your play, double your fun. Come on and get on the action now, guys. Underdog Fantasy Sports is where it's at. It's fantasy made easy. Use that code Husker Army. Get yourselves that $1,000 in cash and, of course, your free pick upon your first deposit. Woo! My Lord, that is a lot to get through. Now, man, weird. It's odd having sponsors. It really is. I never thought something like that would happen for us. So, hallelujah. Okay. Well, Rahmir, since having you back on, man, I had to make a new enlisted graphic for you. I had to find your MVP photo, man. And I was like, oh, yes. Yes.
Yeah. All emotional. No.
I loved it. I had to add that in there. So we got you, of course, always enlisted with us. And like I said, we'll get to everything you've been through here in just a moment. We'll start it off by talking about Jack Hoffman. Unfortunately, lost his battle with brain cancer on January 15th of this year. It's rough. And, of course, we had to enlist Jack in. Number 75, I'm not mistaken, was his high school football number. So, Jack, I wanted to have the young man on, and I thought there was plenty of time to getting in contact with him and have him on the podcast at some point. But God had other plans. So everything Jack and that family has been through, nobody should ever have to go through. Rahmir, you and I talked about this. I had to ask if you had the privilege of meeting Jack by any chance, obviously being part of the program. You unfortunately didn't, but I know that you have seen the run he had in 2013. What does that mean to you when you see something like that can brighten a 7-year-old's day like that and give him a memory of a lifetime?
Nah, yeah, 100%. If I had to go back 2013, I kind of remember watching that clip. To be exactly, I was at my friend's house and we was just watching, college football or college spring ball, should I say. And I just remember turning on TV one time and watching just a kid just running. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool deal and stuff like that. And then being in the program, you start hearing like the story about, who it actually was and what, his story and what he kind of been through and all that. And I was just like, wow, for Nebraska to just do something like that is very special. And just for him to be fighting like that all these years is just another special thing as well. I mean, now I'm thinking back to, I wish I had a chance to really have a chance to talk to him one-on-one. And I know he's in a better place now. And he's definitely a staple for Nebraska, 100%.
Yeah, he really is. Like I put in the text scrolling by there, he really did exemplify the Husker spirit. at what it stands for, the strength it carries with somebody is just, I hate to use the Husker football program as sounding like a religion, but it's when you have faith in something like that so passionately, it can carry you a very long ways and do some amazing things as far as mentally wise, sometimes physically wise. And it really looked like Jack had beaten this thing. And it actually ended up taking a hold of his dad and taking his dad out of nowhere, I believe a few years just prior to this. And to have it come back and wreak havoc on him like that, to know the how much he fought. And he fought this to the end, and you never would have known that the young man was actually ill. If you hadn't seen the scar on the side of his head, you'd never know. Kenny, you've seen so many things as far as inspiration come and go with the Husker program. This has got to rank up there in my mind as probably number one, man.
Yeah, it's up there. It was a big moment for not only himself, but for Husker Nation and his family. And here's one of the things I'll tell people from my personal experience. I used to work in the field with children, and I saw a lot of children with childhood cancer. It's hard on you to be around that and see helpless kids going through that, and there's nothing that you can do for them. So to see them beat it, recover, and start to live their life as a normal functioning person without that illness, to have it come back and then take him years later, it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough because you have to go into it knowing when they have it young that there's a high possibility that it may come back.
Yeah.
Just as far as with anyone who deals with the dreaded disease, any type of cancer. You know what I mean? So it's big for Husker Nation. My condolences go to the family. And I know, like you said, I know his dad passed away a couple years ago. It's something that's etched in stone. I'll use that for the Nebraska program that'll play on forever. It's rough, man. It's hard, but he fought it. His family was there for him the whole time. Nebraska, Husker Nation stood by him the whole time. So that clip will play forever, because if you can recall, other programs did something similar, if not the same thing,
after that, yep.
Right after. So, yeah, it's just sad, man. Whenever a young person passes away, it's rough. You know what I mean? They haven't even had a chance to live life yet. So it takes a toll on you as a person. It's bad. So, I mean, but it'll live forever. I mean, it's probably number one up there in the program as far as moments right now, currently.
I would have to agree. And the young man even won an ESPY that year for that. And like I said, it really shows the true power and impact of not just football players, but football in itself and college football. The type of impact it really does have on the youth of this country, it can be absolutely profound. It can be so large and so impactful that players don't even realize it sometimes and can't believe that it has that type of impact on somebody. And for him to form a relationship and a friendship with Rex Burkhead through all that, they stayed in contact constantly. I mean, it was basically big brother, little brother from the time they met. So for Jack to have something like that and somebody to talk to, that not just on the team, but somebody he looked up to, one of his heroes. I mean, he even wore number 22 on his run. So, and that 69-yard run, guys, that sticks. It's in the record books. He's officially a Husker that day. And he'll officially always be a Husker until the end of time. So real quick before we move on, start talking about But we'll get out of the somber moment, hopefully a little bit. I wanted to share a couple pictures and tweets that this is credit to Black Shirt Media on Twitter. They do I'm not sure if it's one person or a team of people, but they do an amazing job with putting together AI photos, things like that. And they put out a couple, and this one here with Behringer and the young Jack in the clouds. That one hit home for me because when Behringer passed away, that hurt me. I believe I was only 13. I cried. That's how much Brooke meant to me. And I never even personally met him.
Yeah.
And that's how much he meant to me.
Think about this. I was with him right before he was in that plane.
Right. That's right.
We were in the locker room. Yep. And he was telling me not to transfer and to stay.
And then somebody wanted Black Shirt Media to obviously add one more person in that photo. So they went back, redid it. They added Sam Foltz, and they added Jack as a 19-year-old adult. These were two things that, honestly, when I looked at them, saw them, I asked Black Shirt Media if I could use these on here and give all credit to them for them, because these are amazing AI photos. Well done. It brought tears to my eyes. It really did. That's to me, that's how much Husker football means to me. So I live and die for it. I really do. I know that sounds ridiculous at times, but I hold this program and the people that play for it and what they do in such high regard that I can't even imagine being this passionate for anything else. I really can't. So, all right, Rahmir, this is all about you now, my friend. Let's talk about it, man. This has been a journey. I mean, dude, like we just talked about right before we started, your freshman year was 2019.
Yeah.
You have been through it all at this program. I mean, literally anything you could probably think of, you've been through. You've been through the injuries. You've been through the coaching changes. You've been through all the crap you have to hear about in media. You have to hear the critics, the scrutiny. You persevered and pushed through every single obstacle thrown in your way, and you never once flinched. So before I ask you anything, just right off the top, from Husker Nation, from me, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you for everything you did here.
I appreciate that, for real, honestly speaking.
All right. Kenny calls you the Swiss Army knife. He's been calling you that ever since we were on this bandwagon, this journey with you, man. And that's exactly what you are. No matter where they put you, no matter what they asked you to do, you did it without question, without argument. And you did it with 110% physicality, effort every time. So what has your career just meant to you being here at Nebraska, Rahmir?
Honestly,
it's a lot.
It's definitely a lot. I mean, I definitely got a chance to really learn about myself, going through everything I went through. Like you said, I've been through tons of adversity, not just from a football standpoint, but from like a life, personal standpoint as well. And anytime I could have really faltered, but for me, the football kind of been the main thing. And I think without football, I could have probably went down dark paths and just a different path or alleyway, should I say. And I'm just grateful for I always got an opportunity all the years I've been at Nebraska. No matter if I wasn't playing or not playing, I always got a chance to just at least show what I can do and be able to work hard and do what I like to do, and that's play football. I'll say.
I gotta say, man, it has been so much fun to watch everything you have done here, and I almost shed a tear after the bowl game, man, because I knew that was your time here. Your time here was done. And I'm so happy for what you're doing right now and what you're doing as far as betting on yourself. I just wish you could stick around, man. I gotta be honest. I wish you could have had like one more year. You and Emmett together, Johnson and Johnson.
I know that would have been. That's what we always wanted. That's what we always wanted. But unfortunately, we couldn't really get it a full year of it. But it's been fun while it lasted. My 6 years there, it's been nothing but fun. Not fun, ups, downs. But like I said earlier, I learned a lot about myself, being a part of that program for all those years. And I'm glad, I was able to stick it out.
Yeah. Yeah, so which is good, man, because for me, and Rahmir, and Bryan, Rahmir seeing it firsthand in that locker room, with the injuries and stuff that you've had to battle with, just only in regard to football. And I like how you said football was the main thing and how it kept you focused. There are guys that who wouldn't have dealt with the slightest of injuries or would have had one or two of those and just giving up the game, giving up playing, just said, you know what, I'm done. To me, that showed your fortitude and how much of a heart you have to continue playing. Because most guys would have said, you know what, I'll just take the medical red shirt and just let it be what it is. But for you to continuously bounce back and go out there and know there's a possibility that you may get hurt again, because when you have those injuries and you're coming back, you're never 100%. And you offset something else. It's like straining the left calf. You're going to compensate and strain the right calf or the hamstring or the quad, et cetera, et cetera. But for us to see you bounce back, and for Nebraska football fans to see you bounce back, that just shows the resilience that you have. And it just makes former players like myself, appreciate you more, because for me personally, because Bryan said it, he knows how I feel about you. Since you signed, I was like, man, this is going to be the guy. And I remember you saying something when you were a freshman. I said, I like his confidence. And it was when you made the comment when they said, who would you want to race? You're like decap Boodle and all those guys. And I was like, that's what I like. I was like, you see that? He's coming in with a confidence, with a swag. And I know you ran track, and I was a track guy. And I remember Bryan asked me about your times. I was like, oh, that's moving. I said, people don't understand how fast that's moving. And when they're giving the track numbers, I said, yeah, that's moving. I said, people look at these other numbers and don't understand how godly that is when it's a sub, so and so and so, sub, so and so. Yeah. And I don't think, from me to you, I don't think you understand how happy I was to see you finally get what I've been asking for them to give you, which is your shine in the biggest moment in the game that we haven't had in years. And you came out with the MVP. So I was like, man, because I didn't watch the game. I think I was working or something. And then I went back and watched it. And I was like, how fitting is that for him to get that, what he's been through, and then finding out what happened after the game?
Yeah.
That was crazy. And I said, you know what? That could have broken a lot of people. But to go out there and deal with the season, knowing you're dealing with stuff, because people never know what someone else is going through. You know what I mean? I tell people all the time. So my biggest thing is I always tell people, be kind to the next person. You never know what they're going through. And for you to deal with that, something like that, I mean, I just can't keep emphasizing that. And going through the season, hey, man, salute to you, young king, man. Proud of you, bro. You made a lot of us proud.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that is something I did want to bring up, Rahmir. After the bowl game, of course, we all found out that unfortunately your mom passed away. And of course, we all understand you didn't want anybody to know. That's your own personal business, man. Nobody needs to know unless you want them to know. There was one thing. I texted Emmett immediately after the bowl game when we found all that out. I wanted him to let you know, just give you a hug from me. I know exactly how that feels. It was 11 years ago, but I lost my mom unexpectedly out of nowhere. And she was only, I believe, 57 years old. So I know what you're going through. I know how it feels, the shock, the emotions, everything. I just wanted him to give you a hug from me. Just tell you I love you, man. If you ever need anything, you know how to get a hold of me. I'm always here. Anything you ever want to talk about.
Nah, I appreciate that, and now it kind of makes sense why Emma kept coming up to me and hugging me. So
That's dope.
yeah. Nah, I appreciate that for real.
Emmett,
Bryan.
E-Money.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's my guy.
Yeah, man.
He is, man. Emmett's an awesome dude. I'm so glad I'm friends with him now. I actually did text him earlier, and he said the package I sent y'all last week did show up, so he's got it there for you.
Okay, cool.
And then I'll get you guys' merch ordered hopefully tomorrow. They just need to let me know which way I need to order it.
Right.
That's all I'm waiting on. But yeah, for you to go through all that and persevere and push through and play, that speaks more about your character than anything else could have. And the fact that you said you didn't want it to be a distraction. You only told a select couple people. Kudos, Rahmir.
Yeah.
Seriously, kudos, dude. And hell of a job. There's not a lot of people that could have done that.
Yeah. It was definitely tough. Honestly, to really be exact, Coach Rule said November, but she really died on Halloween. So that's before the UCLA game. And to be honest, I didn't know if I really wanted to play that game. And I told Coach Rule, I was like, I'll still be able to play. And that whole game just felt odd. I mean, as you know, we lost that game too. It was just like an odd feeling, that whole just experience. Like, I think we was getting booed and stuff like that. And then, I was going through what I was going through, and we just wasn't getting things right from a football standpoint. So it was definitely a tough weekend, but, I was able to just, still manage through and still kept fighting, and, things kept, progressing from there, from that day. But I just wanted to be exact, because I know Coach Rule said November, but it was actually on Halloween.
Yeah, I could tell in that UCLA game. It's odd that you bring that up. Everybody could tell something was off that day, and it wasn't just with the team. We could see it with you when you were in there. There was you looked like you were having an out of body experience. The body was there, the mind just wasn't.
Yeah,
and knowing all this now. Completely get it. I mean, it's not like anybody was actually mad at anyone, so no reason to apologize for anything. But we could tell something was off, something was missing. They're going through the motions today.
Yeah, it was. Then on top of that, I got injured that game too. It was just like that just added more fuel to like everything. I was just like, man, things is just not going right, and yeah, that game, that was a bad game, honestly speaking. I hate that game, but
yeah, I mean, but you can understand why. Unfortunately, the injury happened, but it was. I'm sure you felt as if you were in the haze, in the daze, like it's almost like you were floating. Like is this real? It changes something. And we all can attest to this when a parent passes away. Yeah. You guys, unfortunately, lost your mother. I lost my dad, but it's different. It's really, really different, and especially when it's right after. Because I can honestly tell you, when my dad passed away, I can't remember the first 2 months after it. Honestly, it was. I'm like, damn, it's been a month. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. But hey, you persevere, bro. And for me to see you do what you did at home. You got to tell me what that felt like to do that at home in front of all your people and all the people supporting you in the stands. Because my last time at home, when I played, we got our ass kicked because we didn't show up like we were supposed to. We got goose egg 19-0. We got upset by Arizona State. And
96.
All of my partners was in the stands. And
1996.
And they're being recruited, and they're going nuts because the big homie's home. And then we end up, shitting in the bed, looking the ass handed to us, BSing out there. So you got to tell me what that felt like, man, with all of that you had to deal with and doing what you did at home. What was that like?
Yeah, nah, honestly, I'm still trying to process that game, but it felt like a movie, honestly speaking. Honestly, that whole week was just like a good week. I was showing everybody around the city and taking them good places like food wise, place to like socially hang out and stuff like that. So that was that. And then just honestly being in Yankee State, that's my first time ever playing there because I went to high school in Jersey. So normally teams in New York play the state championship in Yankee Stadium. So I never really got a chance to really play at Yankee Stadium. So just being there, looking at the crowd, seeing my old youth football team there, seeing my family there, seeing friends from like high school there, it was just like a surreal moment. And like honestly, even the weather, like the gritty feeling, it was just like it felt like New York City and what I was used to growing up in, just like muddy, playing hard, tough team. Man, it just felt like a movie, man. It was definitely a good experience to really show out. Honestly speaking, and it's just me being hard on myself, but I didn't really think like I did enough to be like the MVP. So when they announced my name, I was like so surprised. And I just remember after the game being in the stands with my family and seeing all my friends talk to them. Everybody's like, "Yo, come back down, hurry!" I'm like, "What did they call me back for? Like, what's going on?" And then they're like, "Yo, come up, you gotta come up this with the seniors on the stand." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." And as the ceremony is going on and stuff like that, everybody's like saying my name. I'm like, "What do you guys say my name for?" I don't understand what's going on. And then they announced the MVP, and honestly, all the emotions just hit me at that time. Like it was just like it was just like a happy, sad, just everything at once, and I had nothing just but tears coming down my eyes. I was just a surreal moment, honestly speaking. And to win it at my home city, and I think it was been 15 years since Nebraska been in the bowl game, and win it against that. How he won it, it was just like an amazing feeling. It's just an amazing feeling. It was just it was something I'll never forget, honestly speaking. It was one of my top 5 moments of my life.
And you were the one that basically put the game away too with that first down run, man. You were not gonna be denied.
Yeah. I was locked in. I was locked in. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh God! Just I can hear the announcers on TV on that play, and then I've heard the radio call for Nebraska for that play, and it sounds almost exactly the same. Like I can't even recreate it. I can't because I'll look like a damn fool. I'll probably sound like a damn fool. So, but it was one of those feelings where all the announcers couldn't have been more happy for you, man. And to see that determination on that to seal the game, you did what we've been asking the offense to do on most games. Finish. Just put it away. And gee, who did they need to give the ball to do it? Big surprise. I mean, it could have been Emmett as well. Emmett's coming on big. I got to be honest. I'm happy he's still here. If you've got to leave.
Oh no, yeah, he's gonna have a big season. I'm telling you right now, he's gonna have a big season. I can see it now.
Yeah, as of this recording right now, he's actually doing his first autograph signing at a sports card store in, I believe, Omaha. Is it Omaha or Lincoln?
I think it might be Lincoln.
I can't remember.
It might be Lincoln.
Yeah, it's what he asked if I was going to be there. I was like, oh, dude, you'd never believe this. We're going to be recording at that time, and Rahmir's joining us today, man. He's like, oh, I understand. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's I've got to ask, dude. You, like I said, you've been through so much here in your career, battling about every bit of adversity that a college athlete could have thrown at them. But the biggest thing for any college athlete to always overcome is injuries. I've got to ask, man, how did you overcome every nagging injury that you suffered during your career here? Because you battled so much, and I know you played hurt a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you get through something like that?
Man, Bryan, it's really just a mindset thing. I mean, I guess for me, it's always just, seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And just knowing, like, if I'm able to still be able to put the pads on and still do what I do, I think that was enough for me to just keep, going through the rehabs, going through the treatments, and then, once I'm back on the field doing what I do, do best, and that's just to play the game of football, honestly speaking. And that was pretty much the main thing, honestly.
Yeah. People don't understand that. So I think sometimes people overlook that when you're an athlete and when you're doing it. Like I dealt with knick-knack injuries my time there.
You played hurt a lot, Kenny.
Because hey, if I can go out there and give you 70%, 80%, 60%, is better than 0%.
Mm-hmm.
And people say, oh, this person, oh, he was nicked up, or why? It's because I'm not 100%. And if you can easily say, well, let me just sit out until I'm 100%.
Yep.
But then you're missing a rash of games and you're unavailable. But when you're available enough to do anything to help the team, you're going to have other knick-knack injuries, people. It's going to happen, because that move you could have made at 100%, you're doing it at 60, it's not going to be as crisp and clean.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand the amount of rehab that it takes when you have those injuries to continuously stay on the field. And my biggest thing, and that's why I can totally relate, mine was hamstrings.
Mm-hmm.
Because here I am in track in high school. I'm 6'5". I'm running 20.8s. I'm running 10.2s. I was a sprinter. I wouldn't run the 400, but now I come to Nebraska and they're bulking me up.
Yeah.
And in between my freshman year and redshirt freshman year, as they decided I wasn't going to play, I went from about 190 to 245. So now I'm coming down back to 215. So, of course, now my muscles are having to adjust. You're looking at someone who's fast, twitch, explosive, now having to play power football. You know what I mean? So, yeah, this hamstring's a little strained. Now I'm compensating. Now this was a little strained. Now I'm compensating. Now this quad's a little tight. Now I'm compensating. Now this, it's that you're going to deal with that. And that's what I said. With you dealing with that, I always love to see you on the field in general. Didn't I, Bryan? I always say, they need to give him the ball. Just give him the ball. Put him at receiver. Toss him a pass. Put him as the wing. Let him do what he does, because I know what I see in the player. I know who's a power back. I know who's in between back. I know who's. And for me, you were a slasher. I think your body type was made more for the change of pace back, not 25, 30 carries a game, but the change of the pace back, get out the backfield, let him get in open field and do his thing. So to the people watching, understand what he played through physically in order to be out there on the field to get the University of Nebraska, the team we love, a chance to win the football game. And when you see it from like someone like my perspective, we appreciate you, because we understand. As Christian Peters told me when I was a young buck, he said, look, hey, KC, whatever percent is better than 0%. So do what you can to get on the field. You got it, big dog. I understand. You know what I mean? So I was the guy who practiced hurt. And my Coach Brown, Ron Brown, hey, KC, hey, man, and the trainers would say, he's dealing with that strained quad, right? So let him do what he can do. He's still out here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, he's dealing with a strained quad and hamstring that went up to his inner thigh all the way up to his hip this year. We're giving him shots. You didn't know that? Oh, okay. Let him do what he can do. He's out here. So just monitor what he's doing. So by game time, he's ready to go. Now, he's not going to be 100%, but it's better than nothing. So, yeah, we salute you, man. So I understand. So people need to understand what you sacrificed to be on that field, man. We appreciate that. Now, I get it. I know. So, hey, salute to you, champ.
Thank you, Henry. Real quick, I appreciate that. And it's funny you say that, because that's kind of why I gave up track in college too, because originally I was going to do both sports my freshman year, but like you said, gaining heavy lifting and getting all this like muscle weight, it was just too much on my body. And I was getting these little nicks towards the end of that season of 2019. And I was just like, I can't do the track no more. And I just stuck strictly with football throughout my whole career. But originally I was supposed to be a dual sport athlete.
Yeah, because I knew you were a track guy. I know you were a track guy.
That was the plan.
And they don't understand.
I couldn't.
Yeah, and they don't understand, if your body takes to lifting like mine did, you're going to have those problems. Now, if you're a smaller frame guy like Jay Lloyd, it's a different, because Jalen's not going to bulk up. But if you're someone like me who can literally physically go from this to that, you're going to have those problems. You're going to have those strains. And I'll never forget, I didn't know I was that big until Coach Osborne said something in spring football. He looked at me and he was like, Kenny, and I'm like, yeah, Coach. He's like, how much you win? I was like, I don't know. And he said, oh, no. Oh, absolutely not. We gotta fix that. I said, well, they're the ones had me in here squatting 485 pounds. I don't understand for what. Makes no sense. I said, I don't understand all this. You know what I mean? Why am I on the light day doing 375? I don't understand this. You know, for me, I was against it because I knew my body. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I knew what my body physically was. And I knew what my genetics from my dad, who was a very big man, 6'5", and I had an uncle that's 6'5", who were very, like, at a young age, were built like statues, and that was old school without weights. Like somebody chiseled them. I can't be lifting like this.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand exactly what you were going through with the knickknacks. That's all I always say. Yeah, he's hurt, but I know he's fighting through it, but it's a knickknack, and something else off the offset was probably another knickknack that caused that injury to start bothering him. Yeah, so it makes sense. I get it. So people respect it. People respect what these guys are doing for you guys.
You have to. This day and age of college football, even though there's a few more rules as far as to keep players safe and things like that, it is still a violent sport, and it's gotten to be a faster violent sport.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, if you're playing through injuries, or if you haven't gotten injured in your entire career, you have not been trying. You have to have at least one injury to show that you've really been putting in the effort. And I think, Rahmir, you might have gone above and beyond as far as the effort, my friend. I mean, all right, I've got to ask. I mean, there could be multiple things before we started getting what the future holds for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's multiple things you could pick as a favorite memory or your favorite thing that you're going to miss here. I want to know, what is the biggest thing you are not going to miss around here?
In Nebraska?
Just you know, as far as the state itself, or maybe just the university, or what is the one thing that each day you're just like, oh God, why?
Honestly, like all the study halls. I'm sure Kenny know Dennis. You know, I love Dennis. He my guy and all, but just all the just all the just constant doing things by on schedule from like a school standpoint. I'm not gonna miss that at all. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad I graduated. I'm glad I got all my classes done and all that stuff. And maybe the food a little bit. I won't really miss the food too much. Nah, it was cool, but it got old really fast, like really, really fast for myself.
This guy says Dennis LeBlanc, the world famous Dennis LeBlanc. Let me tell you how horrible of a student I was, Rahmir. If you go in there right now, I want you to literally think about this. I got there in 1994. If you go in there right now and ask Dennis, what's Kenny's social security number? Do you know he can still say it?
Man.
No, I'm dead. I'm dead serious.
I believe it.
He still knows my social security number. That's how much he had to look up to see how I was doing. Because he used to be like, man, I ain't going to class. It's cold outside. I'm from Arizona. It's snowing outside. I'm not going to class.
Yeah.
I think I had one of the funniest GPAs in history. It was classic. Coach Osborne said, Kenny, I don't think I ever seen that. I had a .500. And they said, what happened? I said, it was cold outside. I'm going to class. That's what happened.
I definitely know those days.
Yeah, it was cold outside. Coach, I ain't going to class. What do you think this is? I was going to the training table, lifting weights, workouts, and the spring semester of my freshman year and going home. That was it. Now, I made the classes up, got like A's and B's in them. But I was like, man, it was cold outside. I'm not going out there. What are you thinking? But yeah, they know my social security number, bro. Dennis knows about heart. That's how much he's on me. Yeah. I pioneered study hall. One of the founders.
but shout out to Dennis though. He definitely do a lot for the players, and definitely did a lot for myself, because he definitely helped me through my time as a Husker for sure. So I gotta give my props to him.
Yeah.
But at times he was annoying.
And see, that's great, because you mentioned the cold, Kenny. A great segue in a I don't know, in a loose way, I guess. Talking about what the future is going to hold for you, Rahmir. Me and you've been talking. You got your butt in Minnesota right now. What you got going on, my friend?
Yeah, so I'm out here in Minnesota training for the pro day. I'm at a place called Triad Game Face, and like you said, I'm not gonna lie. Like Nebraska, it got cold. New York, at times it's cold, but Minnesota cold is like a different type of cold. Like when I first got here, I think it was like -14 or something like that. I was
so
like,
rude.
oh,
That's
man.
rude.
I was like, it was so bad. My car shut down on me. I had to get a new battery and all that. That's how cold it was. It was bad. But
damn.
Yeah. But I'm managing through though. And it's not too bad. It's not too bad a place. Now I see a lot of Gopher stuff. I hate to see it, but but being a Nebraska guy here, I'm managing and I'm fighting through that.
Gophers.
Yeah.
Now, being out there in Golden Gopher country, I mean, it's kind of recent news, I suppose. But any contact with Malachi Coleman at all?
Honestly speaking, no, I didn't get in contact. But I just kind of remember that he transferred here too when I first got here. But I have not been in contact. I've been in contact with Emmett when he was out here before the break. So I had a chance to hang with him. He showed me around and stuff like that. So shout out to my boy Emmett.
Yeah, Emmett's home, huh? That's home for Emmett.
Yeah, that's home. So he's very well known out here too. So
Emmett money, he money.
Yeah, the Johnson and Johnson connection, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. Yeah, he brought something up, Rahmir. Emmett was saying that, hopefully I'm not letting the cat out of the bag on anything here, but he said you and him were kind of kicking around an idea of maybe starting a podcast someday.
Yeah. One day we're trying to figure out the name, but yeah, that's the goal for sure. That's the goal. Something with Johnson and Johnson. We just can't. I don't want to get a trademark,
Yep. That's what I was telling him.
Infringement or something like that. But we're gonna work something out. But that's definitely the goal at some point.
Good. Yeah, I told him, I was like, man, that is a great idea, dude. I can't wait to see and listen to that because dude, your guys' YouTube channel, I guarantee you'll shoot through the roof. You guys have subscribers like crazy. Man, that's going to be fun. Hopefully it comes to fruition here soon. Really hope so.
Yeah, soon. We're going to make it happen for sure. We got a lot of stories. But yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear some of the, to use, I don't know, a good word as far as anybody uses, the shenanigans y'all have gotten into. I'd like to hear some of what you can disclose.
No, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. But definitely it would be PG. It'll be PG for sure. But
yeah, keep it underground. Keep it underground.
Yeah.
Don't bring out all the yeah. Keep that on the low.
Nah, that's for the memories right there.
Yeah, story. Lock that down.
Yeah.
But that's good, man. What do they have you working on up there as far as
So
getting prepared for the workout?
Yeah, the main focus has been like the speed portion of it. So like the 40, the 5-10-5, the L drill. And then he's really the head trainer named Deventry Jordan. He's real big on the 225 test, so he's really working on our strength.
Okay.
From that standpoint, from upper body standpoint, and a lot of speed lifting for the legs as well. Okay. But he's been working with the little techniques on how to shave time during a fast time, if that makes sense. And that's kind of been our weeks, our days when I'm working out.
So are they teaching you to, how can I say it, relearn how to run as a track person for the 40 instead of heavy footed with every part of your foot on the ground as you run being a football player? Because people don't understand that transition is really different.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough when I left, because I left my senior year, I didn't do the next semester. I was fortunate enough to go to St. Louis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was staying with Toby Wright, Buddha's dad.
Yep.
So who we all grew up together. So I was staying with T. Wright. And I was blessed to get a chance to work out with the great Bob Kersey. Mm-hmm. So I'm in there working out is my there were the college players. It was myself, it was Craig Spann, my high school teammate, Arizona State, who's actually Buddha's uncle, Sir Parker, who went to Texas A&M, and I'm sitting there with Bob Kersey, Jackie Jonah Kersey, Gail Devers, all these players, and he was teaching us how to rerun as track speed for those 40s. You got to get back on your toes. You guys are used to running on the balls of your foot and almost flat-footed foot for cutting and turning. So are they teaching you how to get back on your toes for the start and staying low? Because we know football is different. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you're having to retrain yourself how to get down technically in a 3-point stance, track stance.
Nah, yeah. So yeah, 100%. He's really focusing on like the mechanics of it, like the small mechanics. So like foot placement, drive phase, and staying low. So that's kind of like his main focus. Him and his son. So they're doing a good job with that so far too. And then we watching videos and reviewing like what we do from a session and how to tweak certain things. So they're kind of very detailed with how to run these 40s and all that.
I figured as much because when you're dealing with track and they're really big on muscles too, as far as the quick twitch. I can tell you, I sat on the table with the trainer when I was in St. Louis. He literally touched my legs and said, "You had hamstring problems, huh?" I said, "Yep." And he turned me over and he touched my quad. I said, "You had quad problem on this one, huh?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "We're gonna have to rebuild you." And to this day, I hate the Cybex bike because there's a program on there, if some of you don't know, that you can do that gives you like a heel that's not on the regular stuff that we had to do, and it totally rebuilt my hamstrings and stuff like that. But I know what you're working on. The drill stuff you'll get. That's just improvement, little techniques, stand low, exploding out, and all of that. But it's people forget it's a straight line speed that you really have to modify and change. And mine was the 10 because I would run a 1.710 and I could run you a 4.48, 4.49. It was getting that down because I'm taller. I'm so used to getting up and then turning into football speed. So work on those things, man. It's going to pan out, and you'll be all right. You'll be all right.
Now, has there been any discussion at all whatsoever, Rahmir, as far as position-wise? Should anyone take you into the league?
Yeah, you're talking about for the next level, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Right now they kind of see me as like a third down back. Catching passes out the backfield. Whatever. All the third down backs, pretty much specialties and stuff like that. A few teams that kind of been interested from what I heard from agents and stuff like that. So that's kind of where they see me at right now. If I, have a good pro day, things should be looking to be pretty good for myself, God's willing. So I guess we'll just see.
I don't see you not having a good day.
Yeah.
So
all you want is the chance.
Exactly.
And I heard you and Bryan when I logged in talking about it. There's so many different avenues to play football these days.
Yeah.
The negative things people used to say to doubt it, because I'm going to say this, and you can agree. You're going to see guys, when you get into a camp, that you're going to say, and people don't understand when I say this, my teammate was better than this guy, and this guy, they look at it in the league as A, B, C, and D. I think at times a lot of people don't understand it's the chance you get in the opportunity and where you're placed at to be able to play. And Bryan has heard me say it about Nebraska on the collegiate level. It's if the coach like you, it's if you fit that scheme. It's even more of that in the NFL. And if you can get in the right opportunity, they say we just want you to run kickoffs. Okay, you be the best damn kickoff returner or gunner you can be. It's all about the opportunity. And there's other avenues with the USFL. At the time when I came out arena, that we had NFL Europe. You can go to Canada. Football is football. It's a chance for you to play something you love, earn a living, and then when you're done, when you're ready to hang them up, you hang them up. But what you don't want to do, like I tell everybody, is be the shoulda, coulda, woulda, and the give up guy. Because then you'll be sitting there saying, man, I wish I would have, I could have, I should have. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure everybody's heard that. And then it leaves you with a bitter taste. Like in my situation, when I signed with the Giants, and they were like, we're going to see you in New Jersey after I was in the first camp because my hamstrings, you see how it's going around full circle? We want you to rehab, blah, 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 Arizona, blah, blah, we'll allocate you. I got hit by a drunk driver. I was here. Then I was trying, and my body was New England wanted me. The Redskins wanted me to come in and arena, and I'm doing all these workouts, but my body's so sore and hurting from having 2 accidents within a 5-month period. I had one here, then I had one in Nebraska when Pizza Man hit me, that I couldn't heal. So when I decided to say, I'm done because my body physically can't do it, even though my mind was there, I didn't walk away with the, man, I wish. I'm like, hey, I couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My body was like, yeah, you can do this 40, you can do these drills, this and that, but you're sore for 2 weeks. How are you going to make it through a camp? So I'm telling you, you go till you can't go anymore, so that if you do decide, or whatever fate may be, that you walk away saying, I gave it my all, and it just wasn't in the cards for me, rather than some of these guys who just quit and just say, I won't do it, because then, trust me, they're sitting there like, damn, I really wish I would have, you know what I'm saying? So you keep going, man, and if it's an opportunity to play football on any level, you take the opportunity because you love to do it. You've shown that. You go play. Do what you love to do. Enjoy. It's a job that pays you that you enjoy. A lot of us have jobs that we don't care for. I'm not saying myself, but people have jobs that they don't care for, but it's because they had to take it to sustain their living. But if you can play football, what you've grown up doing, and enjoy doing, love doing, and they're going to pay you some type of salary to do it, who doesn't want a job they don't love?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So do your thing, bro. I hope you get to shine on any level, man. You got my support, bro. You got all of our support.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's funny you say that too, because like it's like you said, like, yeah, you gotta listen to your body at some point too. And don't get me wrong, yes, like I said, I told Bryan earlier before the show started, like, I owe it to myself to, at least try and see what happens. But I ain't gonna lie, 6 years in Nebraska, it does do it to you. And it's not me saying, oh, I can't play the next level, but I've been through my share, my share for things and stuff like that. So even if the NFL is not my future, it's not the end of the world for me. I'm not gonna be out here chasing it or like, oh man, like I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I'm kind of looking forward to the next phase of my life, whatever that is. I kind of got some passions I want to get into that I really didn't have a chance to get into because I was doing football a lot. So, like I said, we see what the future, entails, and if it's there, it's there. But when the body says enough, I definitely will listen to my body. Trust me on that one.
Right. And trust me, the transition will be a lot smoother when you do it that way. It'll be a lot smoother because you're like, what, I gave it all physically, I can't do it. That's easier. Like I said, that's easier than, I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm just not going. Yeah, when you physically can't do it or mentally can't do it, the transition is so much more smoother, man. Because when I physically couldn't do it, my mental transition happened at the same time. It was like, oh, okay. I was literally at peace with it. Like, cool. People were calling, can you? No, I can't do it. I had to start being honest with them. Can you want to work out for? No, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Physically, I can't do it, which means mentally I can't do it because I know I'm not going to be in a place to do it. So.
Yeah, wherever you end up, Rahmir, I'm going to do my damnedest to be there for your first game, man. I really will.
100%.
Long as it ain't like across the country either way. If it's like New York or LA or something, I'll watch on TV. That's for sure. I'll text you during. I'll say everything I need to say. But if it's close by, man, I'm going to be there. I got to see it. It would just tickle me pink just to watch you in the league, man. It really would. All right. We've had you here for damn near an hour. My God. Guys, got a couple questions for you from a couple fans off of Twitter quick. First one is from a great guy on Twitter. It's King Chris. They call him Mr. Happy. He is by far what exemplifies the heart of Husker Nation as far as a fan goes. Amazing dude, always positive. And he just wanted to know, what was the atmosphere like at Yankee Stadium?
It was. I was honestly surprised to see the many Husker fans that we had. I think we had more fans than the Boston College fans, and they're 3 hours away, which is crazy to me. So it was definitely a great atmosphere. Like, it almost felt like a Husker game at Memorial, but not close to it. But it was damn near close to it. I give you that, and I was just happy to see that we had more fans than Boston College, who was 3 hours away. I will hold that against them to.
Now, real quick, I can't confirm or deny because I wasn't there, but apparently Husker fans ran Yankee Stadium out of beer.
Maybe. I'm not too sure. I'm just saying. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case though, because there's a lot of people there. So, and they
I saw that. I saw that come across Twitter after the game. I was like, "Whoa!" Like you ran Yankee Stadium out of beer. Oh man. All right. Okay. Only other question we got for you comes from another fellow Husker podcast here. That'll be the Husker Cuzcast. If you get a chance from here, that is a great group of guys to hop on with. And also BA Coach's Show. Ben Audi, that guy would love to have you on sometime.
Okay.
So Husker Cuzcast, they just simply wanted to know, two-parter, what is your favorite play that you ran? And what was your favorite lineman to run behind during your time here?
So that first question, like my favorite play to, I guess, be a part of, is that what you?
I believe so. I believe they're asking, like, if they had a play call to make and it is specifically for you, what would be the play you feel the most confident, 100%, that's the one?
Yeah. So either it's a few, either it being a wheel route out the backfield, or if not the wheel route, a choice route from the backfield as well. But if we talk about it from a running standpoint, probably like a toss or outside zone. Those are like my favorite plays because I can easily read it and manipulate the reads on that standpoint. And then favorite lineman is so many. I gotta start with Cam Jurgens. That was my guy from back in 2021. That guy was opening a lot of holes, and he's doing very well in the NFL. I'm excited to watch him play in a little bit here.
Yep.
Trent Hickson, Bryce Benhart, Turner, Teddy, Nuri, Ben Scott. Yeah, I'd say those are my favorite, right? There's so many guys, honestly, that I play with, but those are like the guys that stand out to me, and just me remembering plays and stuff like that. Those are the guys I can say are my favorite line to run behind.
And just to cover both ends of the spectrum, what if you had to pick one as far as how the play went? What would be your favorite memory as far as a play you were involved in?
So
that's hard, man.
It used to be the Michigan catch for a while now, but then the Colorado one kind of just overseeded that just a little bit. And then also they don't count, but to me it counts. But the Colorado run that I had that I scored, but they took it back from me. That's probably my favorite play because I was able to see those guys like heart in their eyes, and I saw them quit. It was me and Travis Hunter. Like I watched him in his eyes quit. He looked at me in my eyes, and I knew he wasn't going to catch me, and I was able to just go up that sideline, but. Unfortunately, they took that play from me.
Yeah,
they took that
play.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you picked the Colorado game too. I don't know how much you've watched any of our episodes this season, but man,
I watched the episode over during that week for sure.
Yeah, if there's a team I hate more than anything, dude, it's everything Colorado Buffaloes. I can't stand them.
Yeah, that, and then just going back to that week too, that was a movie, that whole week, and then just the game itself. That's probably one of the loudest games in Nebraska that I've been a part of by far. I mean, like loudest, like that was probably the loudest game I've been a part of. And the whole night was just like a great setup, and we was able to get our revenge from the following year. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Do a lot of celebrating that night, did y'all?
Oh yeah, it was a fun night.
Keep it. Yeah. I was gonna say.
It was a fun night.
No incriminating anything. Just you enjoyed yourselves that night, man.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
All right. Well, that was the only questions we got for you now. And before we head out, one last story to talk about, and unfortunately, another somber thing. But former Husker running back Calvin Jones played back here between the years of 91 and 93. Unfortunately passed away due to carbon monoxide poisoning. I had been talking to Calvin a few times this football season. We were trying to figure out a good time to have both schedules line up to have him be on the podcast, as he was somebody I grew up watching. Calvin was a punishing back, a big dude. And I apologize for the picture being a little grainy. I tried to clean it up as much as I could, but it was from probably one of my favorite Husker games of all time. It was the 93 Halloween night game against Colorado in Lincoln. and it was a shellacking. I believe it was 56 or 55 to 7 or 10, and it cold, rainy, sleety, slick night on that old AstroTurf in Lincoln. I mean, I can remember so much from that game. It is, man, back in that day, guys could rip their helmets off after scoring and stare at the camera. I believe that was the last year you could get away with that anymore. So, Calvin, he was one of those guys. Unfortunately, graduates a year before the national title year in '94. Kenny, you came in '94. Did you come in early enough to meet Calvin at all?
Nah, but I hung with CJ in Omaha.
Okay.
So different times, different circumstances, different era where we didn't have so many things to not have to deal with one another. So a lot of times, Rahmir, and I'm sure you watch the show, you hear us talk about how close a lot of us older guys are, because we were all we had. We were all we had. We didn't have social media. We couldn't be antisocial. We lived together. There was no separation, and we saw the older guys when they came back. So, of course, LP was Calvin's boy. LP was my boy. Calvin was Clinton's and Damon's boy.
Yep.
And that's who I hung with. So I would see CJ all the time in Omaha. He's close with Sean. Calvin is an Omaha legend, a Nebraska legend. He's a good dude. It's just sad to see, man. It's just hard to take. And then to hear how and why the questions come into, they said, well, it didn't work and he was using a generator or something. How, why, why, was he not aware? Did he not maybe get space heaters? And could he not go somewhere else? You know what I mean? All those things that unfortunately come in your head, but it just hits home, man, that this happened, makes you sad, hurts your heart. It's depressing. It's kind of hard to take. He's 54. And like I said, the reason behind it is that's just gut wrenching, man. So
yeah,
it's sad. I pray for his family. Of course, all his teammates, all of Nebraska family, players past and current, because we lost a giant, man. It's just sad, bro. It's just really sad. I mean, of course, everybody's phone lit up, and my phone lit up. And like I told you, there's a group of us of my era that's about 30 or 40 deep. And everybody's like, man, can you believe this? And it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
it's hard to take, man. It's hard. It's hard. So
he was not your prototypical running back either. He was, a lot of people talk about how Lawrence Phillips may have been the greatest running back we've ever had. If you look at Calvin Jones, he was built the exact same way. He just unfortunately wasn't on national championship teams. Had he been, we would be talking about Calvin Jones just in as high as regard as far as a football player as Lawrence Phillips. He paved the way for a guy like Lawrence to come in and do what he did. And Calvin could do it. I believe back then they were called the wee backs even.
Him and Derek Brown.
Yep. Downtown Derek Brown, man.
Derek Brown.
Like I said, that was my heyday, guys. I mean, 93, I'm 11 years old, dude. So let's do this. But yeah, it's unfortunate what happened and the way it happened, but he will always be remembered in not just the archives of Husker football, but the hearts of every Husker fan that ever had the privilege of watching him or seeing him or meeting him. When Jack Hoffman passed away, he posted a picture of him and Jack together doing an autograph signing back in the day. And that was just a couple days, I think a few days before Calvin passed even. So it's one of those things. But like I said, never, ever going to be forgotten. That's for sure. So Calvin, my friend, rest in peace. You inspired a lot of people. You really did. And you won't be forgotten, my man.
Praise to his family.
All right, guys. Well, we'll go ahead and start shutting her down here now. I'll go ahead and, like I said, I'll let you know, of course, our merch shop. As I keep telling you, you go down to heartwarming.com. I believe it's there still. Check that out. If you get the chance, pick something up, post a picture of you with the merch or wearing the merch. We'll make you your own enlisted graphic like you see for our guests and everything. So we'll do that for you. And then, of course, for the last time, we got to let you know about our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy Sports. Make sure to sign up, deposit using code Husker Army. Get up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Get yourself a free pick. And then, Rahmir, where's everybody going to find you on social media, my friend?
Instagram is $5. Rahmir Johnson, it'll pop up. And it's on Twitter, it'll be Rahmir_Johnson. So that's where you can find me at.
Hell yeah. And of course, you guys know where to find Kenny. You see it right there on Twitter. It's HuskerNoop1911, who has actually just recently updated his bio on Twitter, and it is hilarious.
Yeah.
If nobody's checked it out, please go check out Kenny's new bio info. It is great.
Got heat for him. Got heat. Sell heat for that ass. Yeah.
All right. You guys know where to find the show. You see it right there at Husker Army Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Please, if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification icon. Helps us out a lot. Same as audio-only platforms. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, plenty of other ones. Make sure to leave us a comment on there. We'll get back to you. It helps us out as well on there. And one last piece of news, I guess. This will be out. It will be Monday tomorrow. It will be out that day. Thursday, January 30th. My butt's going back under the knife for my second neck surgery in 2.5 years. So just got to get another disc replaced. Should be pretty quick recovery. My first one was pretty quick. Same surgeon. Love this guy to death, Dr. Hine. Everybody over at Nebraska Spine and Pain Center. Been amazing. He did my back surgery 5 years ago, did my neck 2.5 years ago. One more neck surgery. Then done.
Good.
So get that all taken care of. Yay. Can't wait. But it's not going to affect this. By the time we're ready to do another episode, the end of February, Kenny, no neck brace. Probably won't even see the scar. I mean, can't even see the scar from the first one anymore. So I'm happy.
Nice.
Let's be recovered to you, Bryan.
I appreciate that, Rahmir. It'll be quick. I want to be back in the gym at about the 6-week mark. That's what's going to kill me, is not being able to be at the gym. It's about therapy. I have to work out. So, all right, everybody, you know now. You know where to find Rahmir. You know where to find Kenny. You know where to find the show. Find the merch. Check out the sponsor. I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode today, because I really enjoyed everything that we talked about today. I couldn't wait to have Rahmir back on with us. It's always an honor to talk to him, no matter if it's on here or on Twitter. It's always an honor. So I guess up until probably about the end of February, guys, because I'm going to need a little bit of recovery time. That's for sure. But I think at this point, you guys know what to do, Husker Army. At ease. You are all dismissed.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.